We talk about several of our past investors that purchased in the market 2 years ago. Could you quickly run down before and after?
Yeah. We'll go kind of take it market by market. Gator Circle area of Cape Coral. Oldest home that we managed there was purchased again in all three examples. The real estate network looking about 3 years ago on the purchase. First one was purchased at the time. It was low 200s on the purchase price, for around 220 or so. So we've already seen about $60,000 worth of appreciation, about 30%. Rental increases at the time. Rent was about 100 a month. That's all the way up to $2,300 a month for that home. And we took a home that was already cash flowing a couple $100 a month when it was purchased. We just put $500-600 a month of additional cash flow on top of it, and we saw tens of thousands of dollars of appreciation, all while someone else bought down the mortgage balance. I don't have exact numbers in front of me, but we're talking about $100,000 worth of potential earnings in a matter of 3 years. Very strong numbers. We move out to LaBelle. The same thing. That home at the time, first home that we helped someone with, it was purchased in early 2019. It was purchased for $165,000. That home, again, probably I'd say about $80,000-90,000 worth of appreciation. It's been 100% occupied. I mean, we had a renter that within a week of the closing, that same tenant still is there. Never changed. So 100%, nearly 100% occupancy. The cash flow has increased. I mean, the performance is truly phenomenal. Then finally, South Cape Coral, same thing. We're talking about rents having increased about $400 on that first home. Appreciation over $100,000 at this point. The best one of them all is the duplexes. First duplex that a Ye Real Estate Network investor purchased. It's appreciated about $150,000, and cash flow is going up. We rented it originally. It was $1,450 per side, so $2,900 total rent. Market value rent on that same unit today is about $2,200 per side, so $4,400 per month in rent when it's fully occupied. So we've seen $1,500 worth of increase in cash flow. That was a property that was already cash flowing at $2,900. Just incredible growth. And truthfully, the markets are all poised for that increasing cash flow, increasing value trend to continue, which is phenomenal news for any investors looking to purchase.
Yeah, Justin, we don't have time to go over all the case studies. We have many, many more, not only among my network investors, but you have other out-of-state investors from other part of the country to over the past 2 years to do very well in your markets. For the sake of time, I know the past performance is not an indication of future results. We want to provide this disclosure. We don't know. You and I, we do not have a crystal ball, but my question is, there's still a lot of people out there in this YouTube world, are still waiting on the sideline. They're waiting for the market to crash. I'm not just talking about Cape Coral. I'm talking about nationwide. I hear YouTube comments on a consistent basis. Some people say, "Oh, I'm going to wait until the market could crash further. I'm going to wait until the value of the homes go back to pre-pandemic level." I mean, these people, I don't know who they are. Why such a large majority of Americans out there, they are trying to time the market. They try to wait. They're waiting in the sideline. For those that can afford it, I know a lot of people cannot afford to buy anymore because we're at a 40-year low in terms of home affordability as a result of the skyrocketing of the home prices and higher interest rate right now. I get all that. But the people that seemingly qualified to buy, whether they are primary homeowners or whether they are real estate investors, it does not matter. My takeaway is a lot of these people are still waiting on the sideline. They think there'll be a lot of foreclosures out there coming down the pipe. They think housing prices nationwide and even in Florida, their perception, you and I know better because we are professionals. We study, research, data, and validated that during our presentation. The data is very clear cut. And yet a lot of people, maybe they are irrational or they are very emotional out there, especially many real estate investors. Even with the few that have purchased, seemingly you and I would think they are very experienced investors. They purchase within our network or they purchase other rental properties in the past few years. Most of them are still staying in the sideline, hoping and praying, thinking housing prices are going to crash 30 to 40 to 50% more before they will pull the trigger. What is your takeaway What is your response to some of this irrational thinking? They can wait in sideline, they can time the market by the pre-pandemic level. If they buy pre-pandemic level in Cape Coral, for example, the pre-pandemic level is 250K. And right now, median price is almost 500K in Cape Coral. Or they can wait until the price go down pre-pandemic level to at 250K to buy. These kind of people are just strange, weird. It ain't gonna happen. Think be waiting forever. Okay, what's your thoughts?
If I could find a way to get people homes for $250,000, I would know what to do. I'd be way too busy, right? Everyone would be buying with me. It's just not possible. The cost to build a home is almost $250,000 in materials and labor. Forget about the land that it sits on. Forget about the profit that the builder is going to make. It's just not possible. I think that the real cause for the fear, for the, oh, I'll wait for the crash, I think a lot of it is two things. One, it's a recency bias, right? We had a very large real estate crash in 2008. So everyone can't wait for the next one because they can't wait to make a bunch of money when it happens. And two, it's the amount of data that people can look at and get caught up in the graphs and the numbers. I can look at a graph from the last 25 years of real estate values. And I'll go, oh man, see, if I bought it here where that graph is at the bottom and I sell it up here where the graph is at the top, oh, I'll make a lot of money. The hard part is where the graph is down here at the bottom, no one actually knows it's here at the bottom until we're all the way over here going back up, right? So no one actually knows when they bought it here. Same thing, selling it up here. No one knows they're selling it up here. We can hope. No one can predict that. I think that people get very caught up in always trying to buy low and sell high. It's not a great strategy. It's buy it, hold it. You're never going to find a graph where 20 years later you hold your finger here and here, right? You're selling it at a loss. It doesn't happen. The other side, recency bias. There was a crash in 2008. It happened. Prices got very, very low. You could buy a home for nothing. There have been about 3 major real estate crashes in the last 100 years. I'm not talking about the stock market, which goes down and has crashes regularly. I'm talking about real estate, home prices. There have been about 3. If you can predict the next real estate crash about 15 years after the last one and you nail it on the head, good for you. I want to start investing my money with you because I can't do it. I don't think anyone can. I think anyone who says they know what's happening is just guessing, right? I just don't see how we could have the supply that we have, the amount of demand that we have, and somehow see a crash. The numbers, the data doesn't support it. If anyone has anything different, please let me know. I'd love to know when that crash is going to happen. But again, looking at the data historically is just not likely. It's simply not that the conditions aren't there for it.
Justin, I agree. We focus on real estate investors and how to buy and hold for long term. It's not about timing the market, it's time in the market. It's not waiting to buy. You buy real estate and wait instead of wait to buy real estate. So, I can go on and on with all kinds of philosophies. It's all about taking action. It's about a strike when iron is hot. It's still cash flow out there. You buy in a growing market such as Southwest Florida, Cape Coral. There's two words I want to say, 2 philosophical statements as applied to your market. One is ahead of the curve, and 2, path of growth. That's what we're doing. You are taking investors and any other real estate buyers out there in your market to pick the right neighborhood, the right street, the right block, the right path of growth based on your unique understanding because you are on the ground. You have a pulse of the market. You know what out-of-state investors look for. You buy for cash flow, long-term buy and hold. You push the market. Southwest Market, Florida is a 100-mile radius. There are so many areas of path of growth beyond LaBelle and beyond Cape Coral. We're talking Lehigh Acres, there are Port Charlotte, Northport, so many sub-markets, so many neighborhoods that you are going to take our investors over time beyond today, years and years to go. And you have a turnkey approach. You provide a great client service. I'm not saying this because my investors bought from you. They are telling me you're providing value add, tremendous client service that they have never experienced with other investment property they bought from other markets. So you know that I've been telling you that. Long term, you're going to help us investors to do a remote, passive, turnkey approach, invest for long term. You're going to manage the properties every step of the way so they could free up their time to achieve generational wealth. It's all about achieving financial freedom goals. Before I let you go, any final words of wisdom from you?
It's the same advice I have every time. If you even considered buying a rental home and you think maybe there's a right time down the road, get in contact with Mr. Yi, find out where you're at. He's going to put you in touch with me. We'll discuss exact opportunities that we have that could fit your exact situation. And like you said before, it's not about timing the market, it's about the amount of time in the market. Waiting almost never works out, right? Best thing you do, find an opportunity today, get the cash flow today, increase that cash flow over time, increase that value over time. In 15, 20, 30 years down the road, you're going to look back and go, wow, what a great buy. You're not going to go, man, if I waited 3 more months, I could have made more. Very unlikely.
Very well said, Justin. You are a very young man, I think. Do not disclose your age because you have a long-term business model. So investors can be reassured you're gonna help manage their properties for years and years to come to the next generation if necessary. You have longevity in the market, being as young as you are, as good as you do at your job, and you have a system, procedure, and process in place, make it very easy for other investors to buy through your market. Thank you so much, Justin Zawatney. Thank you so much. And I'll see you on the next video, and let's pull the trigger. Let's do the deals. Thank you so much for your time. All right. All right. Okay. Bye, everyone.